Thanks for being here with me today. I'm Megan. We're going to do a slow flow practice that is about transitioning from your center. And this is something that I've really been working on myself. But before we get started, we are going to start standing. I have a suggestion. Stop the video for a moment. Make sure you have 2 blocks and a blanket. But also, if you have a favorite essential oil, perhaps it's one that you typically use on your heart, like a rose or rosewood is good. I'm using jasmine today, something that's sweet. It will remind you of spring and growth and the positivity of transition, which is all around me right now in the earth. Everything is ready to come up. So, some smell, maybe it's geranium, any flower you like, and put that not only on your heart, but down on your womb heart around your navel center. So take a moment to do that. And then come back. And in your standing position, we're going to take our hands into Trimurti Mudra, which means we bring the thumbs and the index fingers together. And we just gently lay the thumbs over about the navel center, wherever your arms feel relaxed at your sides. Feel into your feet so we can ground. And let the energy of the earth come up through your legs. If a little bit of movement, just rolling in circles from your pelvis, helps to feel that, you can do that, or rocking side to side. And either stillness or gentle movement. Feel your legs supporting the weight of your body. And from there, come into the space of center. And though our hands are on the front side, visualize the back side, your sacrum, your low back, and being present in the pelvis. So Trimurti Mudra is a wonderful mudra for transition. And where our hands are, our awareness goes. So being present in your sacral center, the Svadhisthana chakra. And if there's something you're transitioning toward or away from, think of an intention for yourself for this practice. And just like the earth right now, what do you want to grow? And what would be best staying underneath the earth? Not everything comes back every spring, nor does it have to. And then if you're not there, step to the front of your mat. I'm going to stay here so you can see me. Drop your hands to your sides. Take a breath in to your chest, your heart, your lungs, the whole front body. And as you do so, externally rotate the arms and lift. Bring your belly forward and your heart up. And as you breathe out, just take your hands back to that mudra and look down, like you're bowing your head and even your heart to some extent down to your center. So inhale and expand through the center and exhale and look down. What's there? You can even look at your feet, your stable base of support from your legs. So transitioning from this center space, always coming back to the center. You can keep your arms low, or maybe you want to come out to the sides more. One more back and forth. And this next one, we'll stop and pause, aware of a spaciousness in the front body, all the way from the pubic bone to your collarbones, feeling yourself from center. One more breath in. As you breathe out, bend your knees. Use your blocks or your bricks if they're there, and find a fold. Let yourself collapse. Take a few breaths there, and we'll add that movement in while you're here. If you want to just bend your knees a little bit, wake up your legs, you can do that. Soft bend in the knees. Inhale, hands at the center. Wind the arms back and out. Exhale. See if you can either come to your blocks or just come to your belly. And you can keep the knees bent, almost like you're folding. So what we sometimes do is fold over the hands. Feel your hands there. Inhale, rise up. Straighten the legs, press into the heels and the balls of the feet. Exhale. Hands come back to your center. Bend the knees as much as you need to accommodate the backs of the legs and your low back. Remember, your backside is part of your center. Let's do one more. Inhale, rise up. Stretch through the front body. Feel the back body arching. And this time, exhale. You can either keep your hands in that mudra, let your arms fall. If that's not comfortable, take your hands to the blocks. We're going to take about 5 rounds of breath. Exhale, draw your navel center up and in. As you inhale, see if you can press into your feet and draw your thigh bones and your hips up and out towards the edges of the mat. So just strengthening through the legs a little bit. Exhale, draw the navel center in. So again, you can be here with hands on blocks. Inhale, take the thigh bones back, shins slightly forward. Imagine spreading your hips to either side of the mat. Lift your kneecaps. And as you breathe out, draw up and in through the navel center. Breathe out, let your head hang. Next breath in, rise up halfway. Again, you can use your blocks. Just take a few breaths there, lengthening through the spine. Maybe now you can get those legs a little bit straighter. One more breath in. As you breathe out, come all the way down, hands to the floor, knees to the floor. So this is where if you want to use the blanket, we'll be on our knees a little bit, and you're welcome to open up the blanket and put it underneath your knees. So from all fours, inhale into an arch. And exhale, draw your navel center in and press back towards your child's pose. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale forward into your arch. So drop the belly. Exhale, lift the belly, lift the back, press back. Inhale forward. Last one. Feel your center. Press back. Inhale forward again. This time you're going to exhale, roll the toes under, and lift just your left knee off the ground and push through your heel just a little bit. Feel kind of that side of your core. So you feel more around the left hip and pelvis. Go ahead and drop that down. Inhale, lift the right leg up. So both toes are rolled under. And then drop it down and just do this side to side a little bit. So what you should be able to do now is feel the energy of your butt cheeks and also notice the hips, the muscles in the hips, lifting one leg and then the other. So from the center, just lifting one knee at a time. And then pause for a moment. See if you want to lift both knees up and just hold for a few breaths. So this is really going to take us into our center, our core center, the strong center. So if you want to just do one knee, you can do that. Otherwise, hold for a few breaths. Breathing in. Draw your tailbone slightly down. Press through your heels. And breathe out. Drop down. Bring just your right leg forward. Feel free to make some circles from your center. You can take your pelvis around, just warming up the legs and the hips. Back and forth. And then take your left hand to your block if you'd like to use it, whatever height feels right for you. You're going to put your hand on the block, shoulder over your wrist crease. As you breathe in, take your right arm like you're waving and lift up. And as you breathe out, take your right hand back and just gently touch your belly and kind of bow towards the floor. So you can come out to the side, you can come forward, but rotate from your center on the inhale and come back to center on the exhale. You can round your spine a little bit. Inhale, extension and rotation. Use that bottom hand for support. Inhaling up. Let's do one more. Exhaling down. And take the next one into a pause. So you're rotating to the right. Press into the left hand, reach through the right hand. Hug your thighs, right calf drawing towards the back of your mat, left thigh bone drawing forward. Feel yourself rotating from the center. And breathe out. Drop the hand down. You're going to turn your left knee towards the long edge of the mat and extend your right leg out, coming onto the big toe side of the foot. Drop your right arm. Take your left arm Reach up through your left arm and side bend to the right. And then come back. Just take your left hand back to your belly. So you're making like a half circle with your left arm around the left side of your body. Keep your legs strong and stable. Hug your inner thighs. Just making this half circle from your center. Take one more in motion with your breath. Inhaling into the extension. Exhaling, transitioning back to center. I like to even let my head go side to side. Taking the next one into that side bending gate pose and pausing. Notice your left side opening up for you. Take the left hand down. Going to continue facing the long edge of the mat. Take your right leg and step it behind your left leg. So you're crossing your legs. If you're using your blanket, you can sneak both knees on the blanket. Hands in front of you. As you breathe out, draw back. Just draw your hips back towards your heels. Breathe in and come forward. So just rocking back and forth. Breathe out and draw back. And notice how as you come forward, your chest extends, your heart extends. As you push back, it's like there's pressure, there's compression on your abdomen, and your low back might stretch. You might feel it in your hips. Nice, easy rocking motion. Take one more. And then we'll settle in that space of compression. Make sure your knees aren't grumping at you. If they are, you can stay more forward. Otherwise, take your hips back. You can keep your hands on the ground for more support. Or I sometimes take my hands in there. And if your head won't touch the ground, what you can do is bring your block in, put your head underneath it. So if this feels too tippy, by all means, keep your hands on the ground. Otherwise, place your hands on the belly. Feel your fingers moving with your breath. Sense that compression around the navel center, the spaciousness of your back. You might really feel a stretch in your left hip. Or what is you today? What are you wearing? What are you feeling? Wearing meaning in your bones and your muscles. Feel yourself breathe. And then you might even take your hands just for a few breaths, if you're free, place them on your back side of your center. Where's your back? Where do you feel yourself from center in the back? Can you feel your breath moving your back? Let your hands come back to the ground. Remove the block back to the front of the mat. Come back up. You're going to take that right leg out, step it back towards the front of the mat. We're coming back into the low lunge. So left knee back, right knee forward. And once you're there, find some steadiness now in the legs. So hug your thighs together a little bit so you can come up to your knee. Once we're at our knee, find your stability through your legs, feel your center. You're going to take a moment. You can feel yourself from your center and then find that Trimurti mudra, if that's comfortable for you. Hands right at the navel center. Feel that first. Steady through your legs. And always check too, because if the legs are in a straight line, you're going to feel really tippy. So you want to keep your feet as wide as your hips. That's one of those little tricks we learn. As you breathe in, take your arms up and out, thumbs back. Take your heart forward. Find that little back bend. As you breathe out, look down. Coming back into Trimurti Mudra. You might even shift your hips back on the exhale, forward on the inhale. Just a little bit of an undulation. Inhaling up, moving forward. Exhaling, coming back to center. And it's all the movement is part of the transition. Are you moving toward or away from? Take this last one, find your hold. If for any reason you're not comfortable with the arms here, they can come to your thigh or down to 2 blocks for more support. But you want to keep those legs strong, hug your thighs together. Take your hands back down. You can find your blocks if you'd like. Roll the back toe under. We're going to step forward onto the right foot. We're going to do a tree pose. So in the tree pose, I'm going to turn towards you. Start by just taking your weight into your right leg. And see if you can even just come onto your left toe. I want you to play with the stability of your right leg. So that might mean bouncing a little bit, just bending your knee. And if your left foot needs to come down, that's okay. So can you let your center shift so that your right leg is accommodating you at your center? Sometimes that happens, right? We feel off center. It's okay. Come into the space where you can come back to where you feel grounded again, just on that right leg. And then take your foot into your tree pose. If you like, we usually go above or below the knee, so the arch of the foot fits nicely in the calf there. That's option 1, Trimurti Mudra. Feel yourself from your center. If your hips are a bit more open, or you're looking for more stretching. So this one is going to bring in more strengthening. You're pushing your foot into your calf and you're going to feel your inner thighs, your adductor muscles. So I use this more therapeutically. Then we can stay here with the foot on the calf, doing the strengthening, or if you want that extra stretching, then take your foot up into your inner thigh. And you can be there. Ground through your right leg. And feel yourself from the center. That little shift that goes on. It's good to know that we can still be centered even when we shift away from our center, or we feel shifted away from our center. Go ahead and take it down. Come to the top of your mat if you're not there. Both feet on the ground and just feel it now. Feel yourself through your right leg, your left leg. Hands can stay in the Trimurti Mudra. Pause before we do all of those poses on this second side. Remember your intention for yourself. Drop your hands to your sides, breathe in. Roll your arm bones back. Open up. Breathe out. Hands to the belly. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Take a bow forward. We'll do that 2 more times. Soft bend in the knees. Breathe in. Arms out to the sides. Take your thigh bones back as your thumbs go back. Breathe out. Almost like you're curling up into a little ball. Folding everything into your navel. Breathe in and open up. And breathe out. Fold in. This last one, folding in, hands can stay there at your belly, or if you want some more support, take your hands to the blocks. Next breath in, come halfway out. So see if you can lengthen through your leg line, press into the heels, the balls of the feet, crown of the head forward. So creating that pike position between the legs and the torso. Breathing out, we're going to come back onto our knees. So hands down, feel free to use your blanket. We're in all fours. Inhale into your arch. Exhale. Press back. Inhale, come forward again. We'll do this 2 more times. Arch. So just feel your center. Make it juicy. Let it go through these undulations. Arching and curling. Next time we come forward, we'll heat it up a little bit. So come to all fours. This time you can roll both toes right under, lift your knees, and pause there. Crown of the head forward. Stabilize. So press through your heels, lift your shin bones, draw your inner thighs together, but imagine pressing your hips out. Press your hands into the ground. If for any reason your wrists don't like this, you can be doing the same thing. You can even use your blocks on your forearms. So there's an option for happy wrists there. Blocks have so many uses. But let that center warm up a little bit. A few more breaths here. Staying stable, checking in with your breath. One more breath in. And breathe out, drop down. This time we'll take the left leg forward into that low lunge position. Feel free to use blocks and just move. Make some circles from your center. Familiarize your hips, your thighs, your torso, your spine with this new position. And then once we feel settled, hug the thighs together. You're going to keep your right hand on the block this time. Inhale into the rotation to the left, lifting the left hand. As you breathe out, you can take your hand back, drop down. Inhale, reach up, rotate. Exhale, fold in. Wherever your hips, your thighs need to move. So sometimes I find my hips want to go back as I reach up a little bit. Let my pelvis come forward as I drop. One more time up. And I know this is sometimes literally a touchy area in our bodies to touch our own belly, right? It's an odd thing, particularly for the female persuasion, but to love up this area in the center of our belly. So feel yourself grounded through your legs, rotating from that space, reaching through your left hand. What I often refer to as the womb heart. If you've got your oils on there, remember you're spoiling that area, giving it some love. One more breath. And then drop the left hand down. So this time, I'm going to be turning my backside to the camera for a moment. You're going to take your left leg and extend it out. And come onto your right knee. Come onto the big toe side of the left leg. Drop your left arm. You can reach up and over on the inhalation. Right hand towards the left foot. Breathe out. Take your right hand back to your belly. Coming up. Now I get the view. And breathing out. You're letting your head go back and forth. Even just feeling your left hand sliding on your outer thigh. Draw your right thigh bone forward. Watch you're not waving the back seat here. That's good to see from the back side, right? Thigh bone forward. Hug your thighs. We want that stability. We have to create the stability from the ground up, just like building a house. Foundation first. And then that center can move strongly and freely. Take this last one into a hold for yourself. Reaching through your right hand. Drop it down. I'm going to turn towards you, but you're going to take your left leg, step it behind the right. So we had that cross last time, right? This time it's the right knee forward. I'm going to do my little spin move here. And then inhale, come forward, exhale, press back, hips towards your heels. Just an easy rocking motion. Notice the compression on the belly as you press back and the stretch in the back side of your center. And we'll take this next one and land. So if it's more comfortable to stay more forward, by all means do. You can even stop here and put your head on a block. Let your hips go back to where it's comfortable for you. Right leg forward, left leg back. If you want to use the block for your head, then you might be able to get your hands into your belly. Let your shoulders relax. Let your elbows fall. So think of the circular pattern you're making from your heart through your arms to your hands. We say your arms are an extension of your heart. So you're sending that heart energy down into your belly, into your center. It could be for digestion, just for emotional
support, compassion. And you might also want to take your hands and place them on your back. Notice where you feel that stretch in your back. It's very easy to picture our center only from the front side. Feel it in the back. Just letting gravity take your torso down towards the ground, noticing the compression in the belly. And take your hands back down. We're coming back up. We're going to take that left leg forward again. And once you're there, we're going to step onto the left leg. So this is the tree pose part. I'll turn towards you. So finding yourself on your left leg, maybe just come onto the right toes first and bend your left knee. Just check the buoyancy. I think of it that way. We're checking our buoyancy. Little baby bends. And you might even lift up the right foot and do that. So notice how much your center will shift, right? It's always trying to accommodate you proprioceptively in balance. It wants you to stay in balance. It wants you to be in harmony, right? And then you can place your right foot on your calf. If you're still at all out of balance, go to a wall or keep the toes on the ground. You can always just put the foot to the ankle. We can stay here. Taking the hands into Trimurti Mudra. Or if you feel like you want to work more on stretching, this is going to be more strengthening, pushing the sole of the right foot into the left calf and then resisting with the calf. Or you can take your right foot up. Get a little more stretchy. We just try to avoid the knee. Just allowing yourself to feel grounded through the left leg. All the support we can feel in just one leg. And I'm sure there's times where we feel like we're walking through life with just one leg, right? Out of balance. Think of all those plants out there, all the energy going into their roots. One more round of breath. And take your foot down. We'll step back to the front of the mat, check to see you have your blocks. If you've been using your blanket, you can probably set it aside. We're going to go into a standing series, but I'll give you the option to always repeat what we did. So from the front, find your Trimurti Mudra. Pause again. Feeling right and left leg. There's so much more stability at the base now and at your center. Breathe in, open up. Breathe out, hands to the belly, forward fold. Maybe you're keeping the legs a little bit longer, thighs more lifted, knees more lifted. Bend the knees as you come up. Press into your heels, lengthen through the thighs. We'll do this one more time. Bend and fold. And breathe in to your opening. Breathe out, come into the fold. Hands can stay at the belly. Or if you'd like this time, take your hands to your backside. Just set your hands on your backside. If it doesn't work, you're using the support of your blocks. You can let your head hang like a nice ripe melon. Knees can be bent or beginning to activate more muscular energy in the legs by pushing into the heels, taking the shins forward, roll the inner thighs back. Hands can come to your blocks or to the floor now, coming halfway out. More of a nice extension through the spine, neutral. Breathe out. Pour yourself down onto the floor, all fours. Now that we're in all fours, inhale into your arch. We'll do this 3 times. Exhale, that simplicity of just pressing back, curling your back and spine, curling into your center. Inhale, opening the front body. Exhale, curling into center. One more time. Inhale, opening. And exhale and closing. Come forward. And we've been rolling the toes under, lifting the knees. You can stay here if you'd like, or walk the feet back into more of a hand plank. Push the ground away from you if you hear, and lift up through the navel center. Maybe take your tailbone down just a bit. If this is just a little bit too much, try dropping just one knee down. You can alternate one knee and then the other, feeling the two sides. Or sit in that stillness. Feel that force of power from the navel center, from your arms. Imagine pushing the floor away from you. Press through your heels. Want to make sure you're not dipping through your hips. So lift the front of the center up towards the sky. Lift your kidneys up towards the sky. One more round of breath. And breathe out. Come down. You're going to bring your right foot forward. This time, keep your blocks handy. Roll your back toe under. And first, get your back leg ready just by lifting and dropping. As you exhale, you can drop it down. Inhale, lift up. So we want to steady ourselves in our legs. And then once you feel like your legs are feeling good, step that left foot down for a warrior one. So we want to keep our shoulders squared with the short edge of the mat. Bring your left hip around. Hug your thighs together, bending into the front knee. Start with your hands in Trimarti Mudra. So legs are stable and still. As you breathe in, you're going to open up. As you breathe out, hands return, just gently bowing forward. Like you can look down at your own abdomen. Inhaling and opening. And exhaling, looking and loving. Last one before we find that place to hold. Again, check to see if your feet are in a straight line. I say like they're more on a skateboard. Then step into skis. Widen your feet so you feel more stable. You might even shorten the space between your feet. And find those arms and heart. Draw your right hip bone back, left inner thigh forward. So your legs are sturdy, supporting this gentle bend in your spine. Last breath. We're going to straighten the front leg. Couple of options here for your arms. You can just place them on your backside, or if you want to use the blocks of your thigh, do that. We're going to inhale and come up. Front leg is straight. Hug your thighs together. Exhale, fold forward from the hip crease. So this lower hinge here, not the upper waist. So just a little fold here. Hands can remain on your back. Think of the back of your center. Inhaling up. You can hug your elbows together. Exhale, forward and out. Inhaling up. Just kind of coming to like that 90-degree mark. You might want to keep a soft bend in your right knee. Otherwise, lift your right kneecap and your thigh bone into your hip. Keep it sturdy and strong. Still drawing the left thigh bone forward. And then we'll stop. You can keep your hands on your low back. If that's too much, hands to your thigh, or use your blocks for more support. Might have a bend in this knee and slowly work the thigh back. Can you still breathe all the way through the front body, the back body? Imagine your spine, if it were part of your system of lungs. Of course it's not, but were you able to breathe all the way up and down your spine, through the center? Feel your rib cage moving around your spine. One more round of breath. And then lifting up. This one you might want to use your blocks for. We'll take our hands to the blocks. Draw your blocks forward or your foot back, whatever you need to do so that your torso can be long and your shoulders are right over your wrist creases. You're going to bend your right knee a little bit. As you breathe out, round. And then as you breathe in, push into your right foot, extend your left leg. So it's like we're coming into a warrior three. Breathe out and round. So find this first. And then if you want more of a challenge, you can take your right hand to your belly as you exhale and round. And keep it there using just your left hand. Lift the right thigh bone up and back as you press through the left knee. So think of extending out from your center through the leg and the crown of the head as you breathe in. And closing back up as you breathe out towards your center. Take one more. And then to hold, you can keep your hand at your belly. You could take your hand to your block. Sometimes I like to take the right hand to the back side because that's also a good way to check that you're not dropping your hip or externally rotating it. You want your toes on that left foot, all 5 of them pointing down, reaching out through the crown of the head. Two more breaths. Reach out through the front and the back, your heel and your head. Breathe out. Let that foot land. We're going to come back down to all fours. Some options here. We're going to land in either a puppy pose or a down dog. So you're going to inhale and arch. Exhale, curl. Do that 2 more times. Just find the undulation. Inhale, arch. So that fluidness of moving your spine after locking it in, moving from your center. Now this next time, roll your toes under. And if you want something a little bit more soft and relaxing, walk your hands forward, melt your heart towards the ground, lift your tailbone up. So there's our puppy pose option. If you'd rather do down dog, roll the toes under, lift your hips up, just like we've been doing with our shins. Draw your thighs and your knees back. Your call. And at either one, you want to lift from your center, particularly your back side. Feel yourself on the exhalation drawing in through the belly, all around the navel center. And come back to all fours, whether you're in puppy pose or down dog. We're going to switch off. Take the left foot forward. Pause there for a moment. So use your blocks if you want. Roll the back right toe under and just do some pulsations. Right leg lifts as you breathe in. Right leg drops. Coming up a little bit more. Finding yourself through your legs. You can round your spine as you lift up. Reach out as you drop. Tiny little pulsations feeling into your feet. And then we'll set up for warrior one on this side. So the right foot's going to turn that 45 degrees. Check yourself, bringing your shoulders towards the short edge of the mat and bring your right hip around as much as you can. Bending into your left knee. Stay grounded through the pinky toe side of your right foot. Might even lift that back right arch a little bit. But then hug your thighs towards that center. So that imaginary pull up the center of our body, that's going to give us the stability. Take your hands down into Trimurti Mudra. Do you feel stable at your center? And part of the way you'll know is from your breathing. Breathe in. Reach up. So the legs are not moving. They are not in a state of transition. They're holding you. We know what to expect. Breathe out. Arms move. You can bow down just a little bit, looking at your belly. And I find that's really important when things are changing, is to recognize what's not changing. Where and what we know
and can expect. So those legs, we can expect stability. And just gently moving with the upper body. Take the next one into a space that you want to hold. Feel that opening through the whole front body, the strength of the back body, drawing your left hip crease back, right thigh bone forward just a little bit. One more round of breath. We straighten the front leg. Find yourself where you're comfortable in your pyramid pose. So maybe bring both hips towards the front. Option to use blocks, otherwise hands to the back. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, bending forward. So if we are taking the leg into more of a straight position, we're not hyperflexing it. We want to keep a soft bend in the knee, draw the kneecap up, press into the heel. Exhaling forward, inhaling up. As you exhale, draw your navel center in so you get that extra support for the back body, for the back of your center body. Inhaling up and exhaling forward. You can draw your inner elbows towards one another. Stay spacious around your heart, front of the heart. Take the next one. You can keep the hands there if it's comfortable. Hands to your thigh or hands down to the blocks for a little more support. Build that stability. Root down through your legs. Draw that energy up through the legs though and into the hips, into your center. Reaching out on the inhale through the crown of the head. Take your thighs back. Exhale, hug to the center. Hug your thigh bones towards one another. Hug your elbows. Inhale, come back up. Last one, you're going to stay on that left foot. Little balance. You can take your blocks to your hands if you'd like to, maybe starting out with both. But lengthen through your spine. Try to keep your hip over your ankle, even if your knee's bent. What sometimes happens is the hip drifts forward. So take your left hip crease back. Bend your left knee. Draw your right leg in. Inhale, press into the left heel. Reach out through the right leg. Exhale. Fold up. And do a few first. Maybe keeping both hands at the blocks. Continue that way. Or see if just the left hand wants to come to your belly. A little more testing your balance. Exhale, rounding, closing. I go to patterns in nature. Imagine a flower opening and closing. And we look at the petals, but we see the center of the flower. That's where the scent is. The bees are attracted to the center of the flower. Take the next one into your position. So hand can stay at your belly. This is where I like to sometimes reach around and feel my sacrum, check to see it's not tilted one way or the other. So we want to be able to put a tea tray right on our back side of the center, or you can keep both hands on the blocks. Look back, see if all 5 toes on the right foot are pointing downward. And drop the right foot down. Take your hands down to the ground. Coming to all fours. One more time, you'll have your opportunity for puppy pose or down dog. Inhaling and arching. Exhaling and curling. Just undulating the spine. Inhaling and arching. And exhaling and curling. One more time, arching. And curling, and feel the whole journey. And this time come forward. You can roll your toes under, Exhale into your puppy pose, lifting through your hips, melting your heart down. Or hands to the ground, roll your toes under, lift your shins first. Lifting your hips up again and letting the heels just fall into down dog. 5 rounds of breath. Either one of these poses. We can't have our hands as our awareness point at our navel center, but you can still take your mind's eye there. Notice what it feels like to be breathing upside down. Sometimes transitions in life make us feel like we're being asked to breathe upside down. And we know in this practice we can do that. Go ahead and come out. We find resilience and we start to recognize patterns. Just like patterns in nature, we have our own patterns in our body and the way we respond or react to things, hopefully respond. Come down onto the ground, press your feet in, reach your fingers forward, and slowly come back. So letting your center backside find the ground, but using your core strength. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Your feet are going to want to fly up. Push your heels into the ground and draw them towards your buttocks. Nice and easy. That sense of support and relief as your body finds the floor of your torso. You're welcome to take your legs out long. I want you to just find the space first for your legs. Your legs have been so accommodating and strong for you and supporting you in this practice. Just jelly roll them or bend the knees a little bit. If it feels better and you've got the blanket handy, you could roll it up and put it underneath your knees. Or if you like to use, it's your blanket underneath your head, do that. Or on top of your body. And then once your legs are settled, relax your shoulder blades into the ground. Take your hands back into Trimurti Mudra, tips of the thumbs and inner index fingers together. You could just let your thumbs rest in or above your navel center. Allowing your hands to ride the waves of your breath as you bring the breath all the way into the abdomen. Full conscious inhalation. Feeling the rise and the filling. Complete purifying exhalation. Sense the way even the skin on your navel comes back towards the spine, into your center. Remembering your intention for yourself. Is there something you're transitioning toward or away from? Sometimes there are things that we want and we manifest. And other times they're unexpected curves. In some ways, the most profound yet simplest way we feel transition every moment of the day is through our breath. And just like all of those beautiful plants and flowers, been storing all their energy in the roots. getting ready to reappear above the ground. The great transition for them, I believe. Let yourself rest on the ground, nourish your roots. Feel yourself through the transition of your inspiration and your expiration of the breath. Please feel free to stay in this position as long as you'd like. When you're ready to come out of the practice, take a few more big inspirations. Fill your chest, your lungs, your heart. Maybe reach through your arms and your legs. Arch your back. Lift your belly. Breathe out and roll to one side. To come back up to seated, use your arms, take your time. Press into the ground. Placing your hands again into Trimurti Mudra, relaxing your elbows to your sides, your shoulders are soft. Base of your spine into the earth, the crown of the head towards the heavens. And here you are in the middle. Gather yourself in this space of power. Grace yourself in this emotional Svadhisthana chakra related to water. Which is such a part of our own body. We can watch it and we see how it is always transitioning. I'll leave you with a thought. Every time I go down to the river, I look upriver and I think, that's where it's come from. That's where I've come from. And then I look down the river and I say, that's where it's going. And then I look straight ahead and I say, I am that river. And here I am. Thanks for joining me. Peace, joy, love, and light.